Welcome to Land to House. I'm Seth. Here on the channel I have several videos on micro hydro power and solar power, but I haven't really talked about generators. So today I've got the Power Smart 4400 watt inverter generator. Let's go ahead and put some oil in here, put some fuel in here, and just give it a general test to see how well it works. When you pull this generator out of the box, you get the generator itself, you get a spark plug changing kit, you get a funnel, and a well-written instruction manual. So let's go ahead and take a quick walk around of the generator itself, and then we will walk through the book's procedure to getting this thing set up for first use. First off, let's talk about the front display here. So on this side right here, we have a percentage from 25 to 100, and that indicates the load that is on this generator. This one should be green for just running. This is the overload indicator. Right here is the low oil light. We've got a voltage, frequency, and time display, which is nice to have. So we've got an engine on and off switch. You got the eco mode on and off. You've got a 5-volt DC. Here's a 1 amp and a 2.1 amp for USB. You got your DC breaker, AC breaker, your typical AC, it's 120 volt. This is just your household plugs here. This one right here is designed to be connected to an RV or a travel trailer. I think it's called a TT30R. I'd have to check into that, but so it's a 30 amp right here, 125 volt. You've got a parallel connect where you can run two of these together. And let's see, here is a ground. So that's your basic front panel. The whole generator does have a metal frame which you can pick up the unit from. You have a fuel indicator here from empty to full. Here's your fuel cap. Now back here, you've got the air filter right here, which we can look at. And then here's where you would change your oil. We'll get to that in just a second when we add oil to this unit here. Let's see if we can open up the air filter. 50 hours if dusty, 10 hours to be cleaned with detergent. Let's see. Go ahead and remove this long screw here. There you go. I'm a new user for this generator, so let's just follow the instruction manual for the preparation instructions and then the startup as well. So for the oil that I've got, I have 10W30. The instruction booklet says for the temperature range of 0 to 120 degrees, you can use 10W30. Seems pretty reasonable for my application. If you're going to go down to -20, you can do 5W30, or anywhere from 75 to 120, you can use 10W40. Just some information out of this book. So let's go ahead and start up here. To add oil, place the engine on a level surface. I've got it pretty close to level. Remove the dipstick, which is down over here. Fill to the upper limit mark with the H of the dipstick with the recommended oil if the oil level is low. I had to take greater care in leveling the unit before getting the oil done because it is rather sensitive. Okay, let's move on now to adding the fuel up here in the fuel tank. This part seems pretty self-explanatory, but let's continue to go by the instructions here. Make sure it is turned off and level, unscrew the fuel cap and set it aside. It's got a chain on there, that is nice. I'm also seeing a nice filter in there. Slowly add unleaded gasoline to the fuel tank. Be careful not to overfill. The capacity of the fuel tank is 2.54 gallons. I've only got 2 gallons here, we'll probably put 1 gallon in there. Reinstall the fuel cap and wipe any spills. I'm using ethanol-free fuel. I love these safety cans, they're just so awesome. Makes pouring gasoline just really easy. As I'm filling up the tank, the little indicator here is slowly starting to rise up. Kind of anticipated that it would move faster than that since I'm about halfway done with my can. Besides installing a proper earth ground on this machine, it is now ready to start up. So let's follow the instructions to get this thing going. Step number 1 is to turn the fuel line from off to on. So it's currently off. let's flip it down to on. Next, the choke switch goes from off to on. Move the engine switch from off to on. Grab hold of the starting handle, pull it to where you have resistance, and then give it a pull. I'm right at 20 feet away from the unit. Here is a test of the noise. It's not bad. So this is the exhaust side, and you can kind of hear my voice over that engine. So I'm really impressed with that. I don't think inside the house you would even hear it. Let's step around the corner of the house and see how it sounds. You can hear it, but it's not bad. Shutdown procedure just says turn off that switch and then flip the fuel line up, and I imagine you can also flip that back to that side if you need to. This generator has a 4400 watts startup and a continuous of 3500 watts. So I've got a 700 watt saw that I'm going to use to cut this 2x6, and we'll also bring in a close look to see what kind of percentage of use is showing up here on the display. So let's go ahead and crank this back up, plug in this saw, make a cut, and see how well the generator handles this small load. Flip the fuel back down to on, and keep the choke where it is. Put this back on to run, and I think we're good to go here. $700 watts was not even 25% here on the scale. The light did indicate some output, but nothing was at the 25% block there. So that means this thing still has quite a lot of potential for output. This generator weighs 72 pounds, so be careful when you're moving it. Oh, it's just heavy enough to hurt you if you're not careful. The PowerSmart 4400 watt with 3500 watt continuous power is a pretty quiet unit. Costs around 540 bucks on Amazon. I've got a link to this down in the description below. The run time on this unit is around 16 hours with the full 2.5 gallon tank. I'm not sure if that is just unloaded or with a certain amount of load on it, but 16 hours is a pretty good middle ground, I'd say, for how long this thing will operate. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe. And if you want to check out the PowerSmart 4400 watt inverter generator, then check out the link in the description down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.